is, what if my parents don't believe me or they brush it off as kind of something from school? So again, this was a question that came up loads in the last week. So thank you, Micah Barr, for asking that. So yeah, like I think sometimes parents, so that I've spoken to a lot of parents this week about this, and they kind of gave me two answers. So some parents were like, sometimes we look like we're brushing it off because we are kind of taken aback. We didn't realise something was wrong and we feel bad as parents for not noticing. So sometimes we like play it down as not being as serious because we're trying to process in our heads what's being said to us before we give advice, which I thought was quite a nice insight. And then other parents have kind of said sometimes they just haven't realised because a lot of what we experience now is not what they experienced when they were your age, or even what I experienced when I was your age. And, you know, things are changing so much for young people these days that their understanding maybe isn't the same. So, you know, a lot of the parents I spoke to this week sort of said, you know, well, what would you want your child to say to you to help you understand that it's more serious? And one of them said something really quite lovely. She said that she often listens to her child, but she doesn't always hear what her child has to say. I thought, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because she was saying she listens to the words, but she doesn't hear the intent behind them. And there's a bit about setting that up. So kind of explaining, and it's hard because then you have to kind of find the words, and sometimes we don't have those. So she was saying, but, you know, explaining things like, so a clear example she was giving was her daughter's being bullied online, and she didn't understand how that worked because she doesn't have Instagram and she can't see how comments come to her daughter's phone, you know, and for her WhatsApp is like one group chat. Like, she doesn't understand these group chats of 120 odd people. So for her daughter to be able to show her what that would look like, she suddenly got it, like a eureka moment. Like, being bullied online is not having a couple of random text messages. It can be like relentless, you know. And also we were talking about, some parents were talking about, you know, when is it a school thing and when is it a home thing, and kind of help saying to your parents what help is it you want from them. So sometimes when parents kind of brush it off, it's sometimes because they don't know what to do, they don't know how to help. So being able to say, you know, if you're looking for help, this is the type of way you can support me. Or if you're not looking for help, you're not sure what you're looking for, just saying, look, I needed to tell you this, and this is really serious to me, and I needed you to understand that. And it's also okay to tell your parents if they've got it wrong. Like, they know. None of us came with instruction manuals when we were born. We've been working on it. It's not really happened yet. You know, and your parents know that they don't always get it right. And it's okay to say to your parents, you know what, I told you this today and you didn't quite get it right. And I felt like you haven't really heard what I've got to say. And that's okay.